Hey everyone, this is Haley from Cartoon Universe, and today we have some more leaks. As is the tradition, a few days before getting the actual episodes, we always seem to get leaks. But this time something is a little strange here. A couple reasons why. First of all, these are leaks for Lars's head, which, if you haven't been keeping track, is the final episode of the upcoming Steven Bomb on Memorial Day, which is, I believe, on Monday. So, this is kind of weird that how this is happening. We only got it for this episode so far, and it seems to have less screenshots than usual. I'll be going over each thing, but first I would like to let you know that I'm of course doing this kind of unscripted. I do have some notes, but I apologize if I say or a lot. Also, there is some noise in the background. Sorry if you hear that, the gardeners, whatever, doing some stuff. So I apologize for all that. But with that, let's begin the analyzing. Okay, first thing you should know before we get into these leaks is that these are absolutely huge. Like I said, these are for the final episode of this Steven Bomb, so be prepared to learn a lot, but also be spoiled a whole ton. And it's unfortunate that this, of all episodes, got leaked, especially since the beginning of the episode is super duper. It kind of, a lot of things happen, even just the beginning, which is a little bit rare for seniors, but so this, let's get to analyzing. So first we have the title card, which is completely new. It's probably on Homeworld, as you can see here, and this is pretty crazy because getting a new title card is really rare. We've only had it on Space, like the kindergarten Space, like I said, or just regular Beach City, I believe. And this is Homeworld, most likely. And from the pink hues, plus almost the silhouette, it almost looks like Pink Diamond. I don't know why, I could be completely off. That's just a feeling I got. So they're either on Homeworld or a colony. I'm not really sure exactly. So this is huge. Like, the first clip or second we get of this is Lars, and he's now pink. And it's so weird. He's been transformed. He now also has a scar on his eye. And something I and a lot of other people notice is that his coloration looks a lot like Lion's. So whatever Steven did to Lars, Rose probably did to Lion a couple years and years ago, probably. So this means that Lion was perhaps dying and Rose resurrected him. And so I believe there actually were theories about this. So it looks like a bunch of people were right. So this brings up so many questions. Will Lars have powers? And we still don't know how he exactly died, per se. So was this a new power Steven had? Or was this something kind of like his healing spit? We know he doesn't have healing tears like his mother. But maybe he somehow does and they just activated because he was really crying a lot. He said he was crying. But I don't know if he would have spit on Lars to try to heal him, because he did this accidentally. So I really want to see how this happened in the previous episode. And this also brings up the fact that the Snapchat leak, I believe it was Snapchat, it could have been a different website that somebody leaked it on, maybe a voice actor, I think I've heard, leaked that, and it seems it was real, and that's pretty big, because we were like, oh, main character in the show is not gonna die. Well, looks like it was Lars, like many people predicted. And not only did he die, but he came back, which would have been kind of bad if he didn't come back to life, because this is a kids show, and very few kids shows have characters that die. So of course Lars starts freaking out, which is typical for Lars. And something else that I have not yet mentioned, but it's totally obvious just by looking at the clip, is that we have so many new gems here. I don't know exactly what they're doing. Maybe they hid from Homeworld somehow. You can see in the background that the kindergarten is kind of like, it's so out of place. It's really badly done, not like any of the nicer kindergartens we've seen. So I don't know. These might be really old gems. There's so much to analyze here. I can barely process this. So the kindergarten, you see various sizes of the holes, and also, like I said, it looks like some are dug out. I don't know what happened there. Did something get to them while they were still incubating, or when they came out? Were they connected, perhaps? Why was this? Was this maybe when Homeworld didn't care about the resources? So they just did willy-nilly with the kindergartens, or did something else go on, or it was under somebody's jurisdiction that did not know what they were doing. There's so many questions here that hopefully will be answered. So let's move on to the new gems. It looks like most of these are force fusions or just fusions in general, and we got quite the variety of new gems here. We have this one that's definitely a a force fusion because it looks like she's made up of two shards. It's interesting because it's nice to see that one of them actually formed into something sentient, I guess you could say, because like the ones we saw in Nightmare Hospital were nothing like this gem. So, which is really sad to see there, but at least some of them made it out through all this torture, I guess, with a brain still intact or anything, or they could still, perhaps have a normal gem life, I guess, after all this ends. And they only have two arms, but they have two separate heads, which is a first, I believe. Then we have this garnet, which most likely a garnet. You can't really tell. It looks like our garnet, and you can tell it's a fusion because she has a gem on her, the upper chest, and then a little bit lower, I believe, on more towards her like stomach. She also has a blue gem, I believe, and she also looks like garnet a bit. Quite a bit with the hair a little bit, and also this she has 4 eyes, unlike our garnet, which has 3. So I wonder if she has the future vision of Sapphire. If this was maybe not all Sapphires have future vision. I'm not really sure if that was ever specified, but maybe this garnet doesn't. But then there's this smaller red gem, which I mean I don't know if Sapphires can be red, not from what I know. But this one is red, or it could be a ruby or some other new gem. But she's a pretty cool character. They're all pretty cool characters. And finally, we have this blue gem, who is a huge, huge fusion. She looks like a caterpillar almost. She has a bunch of eyes and, arms everywhere. Like, just pretty crazy. And the gems everywhere. It's quite amazing. And this is what happens probably when you fuse a lot of gems. Fusion can result in almost anything. There's no rules or anything pretty much when it comes to fusion, which is really interesting to see. So after Lars is kind of done freaking out and Steven kind of questions him how he's feeling, we learn that the shattering robonoids are back. And I don't know exactly if they were following or chasing Steven and Lars, probably, or maybe they were just looking for these gems who have probably been hiding for a long time from Homeworld. Perhaps it's possible that those robonoids were the ones that killed Lars, however that happened. Obviously if it's shattering, it probably is very powerful, so probably has enough power to kill a human. So Steven tells Lars to stay where he is, and we get one last line from that smaller gem, who might be a sapphire, sapphire force fusion, perhaps. And we hear from her that she makes a prediction of something that already happened. So maybe since she's red, she is a reverse sapphire and she only makes predictions about the past. Or maybe she's right and he will change in hue again back to perhaps his normal colors. Which, if he ever goes back to Earth, it's kind of weird. He's going to be pink. That's unusual. Although Garnet is purple and Amethyst is purple. So... people usually don't seem to be too weirded out by them. So I think, hopefully he'll be fine on Earth when he goes back. So in the final scene, we see that a couple of the gems are trying to block the entrance to this kindergarten. And one of the gems notes, the one with 2 heads, I believe, notes that rose quartz is really strong because Steven's just able to push the boulder really quickly to where it needs to be while they were struggling with that. So that's pretty cool to see. I don't know if Steven's just been getting stronger over the series or if he always had this power, just really strong, especially for his age. Now that the 2-minute clip is done, we can talk about the couple of screenshots that we got for this episode. So these are usually they're never in order, so I'm just going to go by the order that, they naturally came in, but don't take anything of what I say about this, like this happened in this order. So first we have a picture of 3 of the new gems. We have the garnet, the small one, which might be a sapphire, and this 2-headed gem, which is definitely 2 gem stars fused together. Not too much to say there because I already talked about them quite a bit, all of them. I'm not sure exactly the difference between rubies and sapphires, what they could be. See, this one does. The gem that this one has doesn't really look like any of the rubies we've seen so far. It looks really flat. I'm not exactly sure, or if that small gem and the bigger garnet are have anything to do with each other, or they just happen to be there because they're both almost all red gems except for that one blue huge fusion that we see. Next screenshot is just the garnet fusion. I'm saying garnet, but this could potentially not be, even though, like I said, looks a lot like coloring wise and pretty much everything, although facial features are a bit different. Most likely a garnet. Their outfits are interesting too. It's the outfit, like, I don't know, it's just interesting, and the colors are really different. I don't, especially for that one sapphire looking gem. Interesting clothes choice, I guess. Next we have the only non-spoilery, I guess, one. I don't really know how to describe it, but it's basically just Steven in line. It's weird because, like, it looks like Steven's shaking or something. I don't know. This is probably at the end of the episode, because if the beginning is when they're at the kindergarten, then maybe somehow Lion rescues them or something. I don't know. Now maybe Lion has a connection to Lars because they both have, most likely were resurrected by Rose Quartz. So maybe they have something to do with each other. We'll have to see about that. So I don't know. Maybe Lars can call Lion over or something like that. Oh, wait. Okay. Never mind. I don't know why I didn't see the last screenshot. I just had an idea. So we'll get to that one in a second. So fourth one is just of the Garnet Fusion once again. And she's kind of worried. She seems to be like that a lot. Okay, finally, which is the one I was going to get to. First off, we see that there is a whole ton of kindergarten holes. Like, this one is so unorganized. It's so strange, and they're varying, which we've seen before, but it's just interesting to see the differences between each kindergarten. And we can see here that Steven is actually going into Lars's hair, just like he goes into Lion's, and he grabbed a lunch. So probably what happened, somehow Steven went back in, and Lars and Lion are, like, connected, like a portal between each other. So he went back in, grabbed the lunch, and is coming out maybe to give Lars the lunch. I don't, maybe no other gems can enter that or anything, enter Lars or Lion. So only Steven's the one that can go back and forth. So maybe he can get something that can help him. Yeah, this is just crazy. So yeah, literally Lars has become Lion. Not only did he die, but he's come back to life, and now he's another, like, Lion. So this is so crazy. Is Lars gonna have all these powers? Like, Steven can just, like, Lars will, maybe they even have, like, the same, like, inside the room. So maybe Steven could, like, well, that makes sense that they would have the same room. Steven could just grab his bike that he had in there, or whatever else he had in there, and just put it in Lion, and then later grab it and come out of Lars. So I don't know exactly how that'll work. That's so weird. It's so exciting to see this. I guess I'm sorry, I'm just, like, super excited for this episode. Unfortunately, it spoils a whole ton for us, but, now we know what to look forward to. Maybe we're being punished by this one being released first, somehow, but wow, I'm speechless almost. So guys, let me know what you think. I probably missed a few things, especially when it comes to, like, Lars. Will he have all the powers of Lion, or just that one that we see there? So let me know in the comments. Thank you so much, Patreon supporters. Look forward to more videos about this, covering future episodes, especially when it airs on Monday. We'll be talking about it a whole ton. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you then.